turf in it.
Okay, so working on that stance of that car is bugging me, that front wheel being up in the air and the guard gap and everything. Did a little vote on Facebook and Instagram. It was interesting to start with. Facebook was like, nah, you need to leave it or raise it, and Instagram was like, nah, slam it. That soon became to just raising it being the top vote, which is weird. I didn't think that would be the case. A few people said lift it even higher, make it look like a gasser, and that'll help with the wheelies. I'm thinking if I'm not going to slam it, then yeah, I'm going to try and raise it, fill the guards and do something like that. So check out what I got the other day. Got me some new wheels. So we will be going from this little boy, 12-inch, to that. So, which is a 15. So it's a 12 by 70 165, I believe, and a 12 by 15 by 60 195. So the good thing with that is it's going to hold the front a bit better when we're trying to do burnouts, for one thing. It's going to look better at filling the guards more, and it's going to lift the car up as well, because I mean, look at the size difference. And it will look something along the lines of this, which I think is probably a bit better. Let's see if I can get a bit of an angle where we can you can see the back ones as well. How's that? Alright, so something like that. I've done a couple of mock-up tests and I think clearance should be fine. Only, yeah, slight problem. I did Google this, and you know, I do know from Googling it that the PCD is 4x110. For some reason, I had 4x114 in my head, and I thought I was being smart. I made a little template with the bolt holes and a piece of cardboard, and the offset, and all the details of the wheel size, spec, and the bore size, and all of that. And I took that with me to the wreckers, and I found some wheels that would suit. Unfortunately, no, because I had 114 stuck in my head, and I got 114, not 110. And that 4mm was really hard to tell. Even on my template that I put in there, it's still, yeah, it looked the same. This is my template, by the way. Yeah, so they're not going to fit. But I have a plan. It's going to cost more money, but I can buy an adapter, 15mm spacer adapter from 110, 4x110 to 4x1143. So that'll make those fit. And if we come out 15mm, I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. It actually fit quite flush. I don't think that it's actually going to get up that high anyway, but I'll roll the guards. I can always camber, put some camber on it too, which might be good. So I think that's the plan at the moment. I've got it set up like this now. I'm just going to try and secure that wheel somehow, best I can. I used a ratchet strap the other day, but it was up in the air, it was a pain. And then just make sure we do have full kind of steering clearance and everything there, and that's not going to be too much of a problem before I buy those expensive spacers. So hit you back soon. Alright, so I think we're mostly good. I'm going to roll this guard. We might have to trim probably here, maybe a little bit at the top. Actually, when you put it down on some weight, it does actually sag a little bit. Might even have to trim a little bit here too. But we've still got a good range of steering. I think we rub on here and we rubbed on there when we go full lock, but still got a good range of steering before that happens. And I think just worst case scenario, I might have to just lift it up higher in the front, which I think the majority of people will be happy about anyway, and we'll fold the slip over too. So generally I think we're pretty good. I'm just going to send it, spend another $160 on some spacers, but what the hell. Bit of a clean up, lick of paint, and they come out looking pretty good. Did them black, just to match the rears, so it kind of blends in a little bit better, doesn't look too obvious that they're different. Yeah, that's it. Here we go. Okay, back at it again. I got my spacers. They arrived in a couple of days, which is great. I don't know if I mentioned before, but the bore size was too small. I already knew that, but this is the best thing that I could find, so I just had to open those up a bit more. And we've got two adapters from, I can't even remember which way around, 4x110 to 4x114. To go on there. Yep. Now, so the only other issue that I have, which is super frustrating, and I wondered about this too, but so that's the nut, goes in there, like it's not going to sit flush. So, I mean, torque performance, what the hell? Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Why even make them 15mm then if you can't, if you're not going to be able to have wheels sit on there flush? So I could cut and grind those. I'm going to have obviously the studs popping out as well. I could put them on and just cut and grind that part off, or mark some holes and drill some holes in the back of the wheels where those parts would sit, which is what I might actually do. I think that might be safer than taking too much off the nut, and then it means I don't have to cut the stud or anything. It can probably just go in the hole in the back of the wheel. Not ideal, but you know, like, it's not a street legal car, it's not a track car, anything like that, so I think it'll be fine. Anyway, yeah, that's the plan. Okay, so this is where we're at. I did try in the back of the wheels to clearance some gaps for the studs and the nuts, but yeah, it was a pain. I didn't really like that. So I went ahead and just sliced the top of the nut off and the stud and try to get that flush, and that works quite well. I don't really see that being too much of a problem because I've Loctited these on, I've ugga-duggered them up. This never really needs to come off because, well, ever, I can still access the axle there, not that I need to because it's just a stub now. You know, it doesn't go into anywhere to anything, but if I needed to do a wheel bearing or something, I can still do that. Shouldn't even need to. It's not like I'm going to put K's on this or anything, so I think it'll be fine. And yeah, so we're just going to run it like that. That's the one side done. Still going to do the other side, and I'll come back to you when we can put those wheels on. Okay, how's this? It's a bit hard to see because of the hoist, I'm sorry, but that's kind of how we're looking now. I quite like it, to be honest. Might actually even go higher when I look at the distance spaces, but yeah, the positive camber is a bit more pronounced, so we're going to fix that. I have a little trick for that. I might show you. It's rough, it's dodgy, don't do it on your own car, but you don't do it on your street car. Yeah, and then I don't know, we'll see. We're going to do a little bit of clearancing because we are at the very least hitting in here, as you can imagine. Yeah, but we'll do the camber first, and then we'll figure out where we're at with that stuff. Definitely looks better with those wheels, eh? Definitely. Okay, so here's the little trick. You see that bottom nut there? I've slotted it, and what that allows us to do is push this in. Gives us that back and forth movement, and as that goes in, the top goes in, and the bottom comes out, and that's your camber. So, little trick for getting camber, but like I say, I wouldn't do it on your street car or anything like that. And only do one, because that one is still solid, you know, the proper size hole, so it doesn't move around up and down or anything like that. And it's just the one, so that's still going to hold it, but this one we can move it around and we can secure that on an angle if we want to. It'll do for this anyway. Okay, here we now have some positive camber, just a small amount. Unfortunately, I did want a bit more, but we're maxing out the ball joint at the bottom. So even though I have a bit more room in the slots, it just won't go any further. So we might look at that later, but we have a good amount of steering. It rubs full lock on in both directions, on the inside and the subframe and stuff, but we've still got a good amount of turning circle before that happens, so it's enough for this, for what we plan to do with this. I think it'll be fine. So that's where we're at. What do you think? Wheelie car. Hey, We've got a license plate for the mirror. What do you think? Do you like the afro tiff?
I like the afro too.
Okay, cool.
Kind of like your hair.